Yesterday, we saw the worst fire conditions for many years in this state. As the day unfolded, those catastrophic conditions also moved their way through the southwest of the state. So a lot of work was done by the agencies, including FFM-VIC, CFA, Fire Rescue Victoria and others, to work as hard as they could to try and contain that fire ahead of yesterday's conditions. And they are to be thanked for that enormous work that they did.
In the middle of the week, a really intense grass fire took hold about 1 kilometre south of our block of land. Fortunately for us, we weren't really in danger. The winds were blowing southwards, taking it away from us. However, the area that it was taken over is quite densely populated. There are about 115 homes within the area that the fire was active in. Luckily, nothing was lost, no one was hurt, no animals were lost either. It was kept under control within about 6 hours, but it was really luck that that was the case. Because we had the major bushfires a week before, we had a large CFA contingent camped up in town. If it wasn't for those guys being in the vicinity, would not have been as quick a response, as intense a response, and in all likelihood it would have grown to be much, much worse. So we're very, very fortunate, very, very grateful. But it does highlight that we are quite susceptible where we are, which is a little nerve-wracking, but that's the nature of living somewhere like this, I guess. The intention today is going to be carrying on with what I was doing last week, which of course is the insulation. Oh wow. Well, that has expanded quite a bit. That's good to see. Oh, it looks great. So this side is actually much better coverage, expanded well. Just ran out of foam before we got to the end. I'll still go over all this lot anyway. Give it a thickening up. We'll do up inside the sill. That's still missing. Yeah. Well, that's a lot. It's looking great, except the last bit. Might have been a little bit thick. I'll scoop this up and fill in that gap tomorrow. So that was about 6 or 7 cans, I think. We got through all of that. The rear 2 sections fully done, and we've got the channels right down the sides. They're done, and loads off the right hand side. So we'll get one more box. We'll see if that can do us. It's probably just going to be short, but we'll give it a go. It's been a while. Hardly any hydraulic fluid left, and that will be because of the swing cylinder. So this thing leaks like a sieve. It's got so much play along here, it's like it's missing a shim or something. I've kind of looked into replacing the seals and buying rebuild kits for this kind of thing, but really hard to get hold of. I'm probably looking about $800 to $1,200 just for the repair kit, and there's no guarantee that the actual cylinder itself isn't flared or warped or cracked or a whole host of other issues with it. I have found a place in New South Wales that is a backhoe specialist wreckers. It's amazing what's out there, isn't it? So I'm probably going to get the serial number and that, make a note of it, take some photos and then send it to those guys, see if they've got one sitting on the shelf or in the yard, and get an idea of a cost for that. Give us an intro, Elise, what we doing?
Oh no! Is it already too hot?
I'm wondering if it's this batch of bloody foam.
Seems cool.
How's it going?
Not very good.
Just not sticking, huh? Yeah, so even that, it's just dripping off. I think we might just have a bad batch. It was cool this morning, it wasn't super hot, so I don't think it's that. Lucy's had to run home to meet somebody. I thought I'd stick around and just try and get it in the channels. It might be a little bit easier than trying to get it to stick on the roof. It's still not ideal, it keeps dripping off. Because the last one was great, and you can just see it behaves way differently to this one. I've got as much of these done as I could. I mean, it's all in there, but yeah, you can just see it's just not expanding. That was the can before, that worked all right, and then this new one just melts. So yeah, a little inconsistent, but at least we've got it all the way down now. Yes! So I don't know how clear that is, but here's that shim. And then that'll be the bearing, and yeah, that has collapsed. Looking for numbers, marking serials, but completely unmarked. I've got some photos, I'll have another chat with the wreckers, see what they think, see what the wreckers reckon. It's now the 16th and it's much cooler than it was last weekend. It's going to top out at about mid-20s today, which is much better. So first things first, I'll have another go at getting this spray foam in. If it's not working, then we know that this box full is no good. I do have two other cans that I found, different brand, in the shed, so I'll use them anyway, get them in. And then I'm gonna have a look at grading the driveway a little bit. We're gonna put an order in for some more gravel and get the driveway done right the way to the front gate. Yeah, it ain't happening. Managed to get this half on, but this is just melting off. It has got warm. Yeah, it's just straight sunlight hitting the bus, so yeah, I'm not surprised that the roof is getting hot. I'll have to come down on a particularly cold day, I think, before I pick this up again. Just gonna get us started, warm up, and then I'll torque these down. Didn't do that last time I was here. This is as far as we've got with the gravel. Kind of just fades out here and then onto the dirt track. We've got some pretty heavy ruts established in, so I'm hoping I can just get the bucket down and kind of scoop these out, but it is rock hard, so I don't know. Been up and down it a few times. Established the path, it's got most of the ruts out. I'm really happy with that. That was no job at all really, dead quick. I'll pick up some stuff to do a bit of surveying tomorrow. Luce and I are going to peg out the fence line again, mark out the corners of the house. And then maybe try and work out the area that we need to clear, run some fluoro line around the trees.
We're measuring out where the house is going. We're just fetching some star pickets now.
With the radio. Unfortunately, we didn't get it done today. We didn't quite get it mapped out. We're not super happy with how accurate or inaccurate it is. The measurements we were getting today were so vastly different to the initial measurements we made. We're gonna go a different route. It means more equipment, need a lot more star pickets and a lot more line. So next weekend we'll come back well prepared and spend a whole day doing that and making sure it's really accurate. So we've marked out all the positions of where the house corners are in relation to the outer boundary. So then next time we'll run a line from this to its corresponding one on the other side of the boundary. We'll do that for all of them. And where they cross over, that'll be where the house is.
28th of March. Just come down to meet a gravel delivery. So we're getting 2 truckloads of red gravel to do the driveway. So that's what we'll be doing this long weekend. Very exciting. I've been waiting 40 minutes for the gravel delivery and they're still about 40 minutes away, which is really annoying. So I'm going to see if I can do some work on the bus. I've just killed some time doing a bit more spray foaming. This last batch that we've had has been very temperamental and not sticking very easily, which is really annoying. But managed to get a reasonable amount done today. So it's something at least. But Gravel Man's on the way now, so we'll go meet him out the front.
Yeah, we got a long weekend. So Luce took the gravel delivery yesterday. It's a big pile. We got twice as much as the other gravel that we got in. Luce told me not to do too much today because she wants to be down here to do it, so can't argue with that. She wants to come and help rake it out, then it's up to her. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Wondering now if it is really enough. Might not be, might need another order. There's still a lot of volume here. I'm sure it will spread out. It's more about the width of the driveway, that's kind of my concern. So there's not a whole lot more to do on the driveway really until we get the next load of gravel. So that will be, you know, a week or two away before we sort that out. Tomorrow, Sunday, we'll both be down here and we'll be able to keep marking out the house layout and the boundary and all that. Get back to that and pin out the corners of the house again.
It's Easter Sunday and we've come down to finish marking out the house. Brad's just put our letterbox up on the north east corner. Maybe it's northwest. Anyway, just so we can see it more clearly because we have to pass string all the way through a huge mine shaft over there, massive hole, so it's going to be a bit tricky, but we'll see.
So here's the string line. This is essentially the north face of our house. This is what it will sit along, and in terms of like the angle of the block, it's way off what we thought it was. We thought this was kind of east-west, you know, that was kind of due west, but no, it's right down there. So we were quite a ways off, and it is 12:25. I'm looking at where the sun is. Don't know, still might be a little northwest facing.
Just putting in our final star picket at the northwest end of the house. Well, technically the end of the deck, which is super cool. So we've got our other corners there. Good job.
Right, we're down here 1st of April and just retensioning these string lines right the way across. Because we've had to kind of go under the bus on the southern one, it's not measuring out right where we've got it pinned, the actual house corners. So we're going to use this north one, which has got a direct line of sight right the way through, and we'll measure from the top instead, go that way. You can see how far out this string line from yesterday was, about 2.5 meters shy, but this is in the right spot now. So this is 12 meters to that one, which is the width of the house, and you won't be able to see it on this camera, but this is completely in line with the marker on the top boundary. And then we've done the same over here as well. So we've got all 4 corners. So now what we're doing is measuring 32 meters due south. The southwest corner, we'll put a stake in, and that'll be the extent of the clearing that we need to do, and then we'll just work our way around, do all the corners. So we've measured out the extent of the clearing on the south side and on the east side, and we've still got to do the north side and the west side, which is what we're doing now. And Luce has done the north side. Well, I guess that does us for another month. Got the house pinned out, we've got some of the clearing area staked out as well and marked up. Got most of the driveway in. Yeah, all kind of half jobs completed, but all of them well on their way. So I guess in the coming weeks what we'll do is we'll get another load of that gravel, that red gravel, get the driveway up to spec. Need to get that done before winter, because once the weather changes it's going to be a nightmare to work with, so we really want to get that driveway done before we start pulling trees down again, because it turned into a swamp last year and we want to avoid that. Finally feels like we're back into it again after the Christmas break and the wedding and all that stuff. Finally feels that the house project, the build, is back on track. And as you can see, the weather's changing as well, and to be honest the cool weather is much appreciated, so we'll be down here felling trees, chopping them up, and that's probably going to be the story for the next few months at least. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.